Hi everybody, hi Charlene, hi Go For It Painting, hi Mia Geeked, and hi Hounds and Jackals. Hope you're all doing great this evening. With me today we have Mike from Net1 Videos, and I just realized that I forgot to move your label, sorry about that. And Tom and Lisa. How are you all doing?
Good.
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 There we go.
I was just marveling at Santa joined us today.
I'm going to grow the rest of the beard out too because I'm tired of shaving. So it's also warmer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, this is the difference between where you are, Michael, and where I am, and actually Carl too. Which is this is a T-shirt celebrating a pub here that is 100 years old. But that's it. It's like the oldest pub within 50 miles. You know,
that's not an old pub.
I know.
Yeah, it's like that's like a toddler in pub years.
Yeah,
I mean, 100 years does sound old, but yeah, I think that the oldest pub in Ireland is something like almost 300, 400 years old.
Yeah, yeah. It's but on the west coast of the United States, this is about as old as it gets. So
nice. So you're going to need to fill me in a little bit, Carl. I'm a little bit out of the loop. So what's happening here?
Okay, so we have gathered here today, in the last stream of the year, by the way, to look over some one-shot dungeons. So I call them dungeons, but they could be anything. So if people want to do a spaceship or a city or well, the intestines of a giant monster, all good. As long as it's an adventure that can be played over, just one session. Hey, I see that DM Scotty joined us. Hi, Scotty. Good to see you.
Hashtag evil DM.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop the Google Drive link in the chat in case anyone wants to add any late submissions.
Okay.
And I guess we can get started, yeah?
Let's do it.
Right, so 1 sec.
Where were I? Oh yeah, there, I'd find it.
There we go. Okay, so I suggest we get started with Dungeon Maintenance Entry.
Because, we're going to go first? Okay, sure.
Oh, hi, Caverna Dolekis. Good to see you. Let's go with Dungeon Maintenance Entry because I know this is something that she's been wanting to do for a very long time, and I also always kept saying no. But in the end, here we go.
No, you went on the wrong one. That's not the one to do first.
No? Is it this one you want to do first?
Yes. Nice, quiet, snow-filled village. I didn't get time to put stars in the background, but yeah, it's peaceful and so lovely for the holidays.
Okay.
And then, but when it's time for feasting, next one.
Did you make the gingerbread yourself?
Oh heck no. I can't bake. It's a box. I got a box. They sold gingerbread pre-made, just put together gingerbread houses at Walgreens, I think, and they were like $2.99 a box. I got there were two different kinds, so I got these two.
It kind of looks like he's smoking a lot of cigarettes.
Yeah, cigars like everywhere.
That's right. He's really celebrating.
I think this would be a great session because, like, after the session, you get to like eat the terrain. So
or during the session.
Actually, I was going to write the session that you got to eat the terrain during the session.
So it's like you eat what you kill?
Yeah.
Okay.
We eat them after pictures. No, as a matter of fact, I should show you what it looks like now because the icing would not hold it together and it all just fell apart. So now it looks what I thought about doing and I didn't do it. Now I wish I had. But I also had a big bag of cotton candy, and I bought gummy worms, and I was going to stick the gummy worms in the cotton candy with some eyes and have that. And that was huge. That was like way bigger than the houses. And I was going to put that in the background behind the wrecked houses where they had all fallen apart. Maybe it wasn't just mimic houses to be an issue.
I will say our kitchen is a mess.
So this is a very recent endeavor then.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to take long to put it together.
And now we have gingerbread ruins.
But, I mean, I guess you know what you're going to do after the stream, right? Cup of
Yes.
coffee and eat the
We're
tray.
hearing. We could bring it. Actually, should I go ahead and bring it in?
Yeah, go ahead and
Well,
bring it in.
Yeah, go
See
ahead.
how horrible it looks now.
All right, yeah, go ahead. So in the meantime, hi Cindy, hi David, good to see you. So I see people are saying, is this an edible one-shot adventure? I think it became edible before the one-shot, if I understood correctly.
Yeah, I mean, we really did talk about eating it, but I think it's difficult now.
And Caverna Tolekis is saying, maybe I should use gummy.
It just fell.
It just started to fall apart. Yeah,
Oh,
it's like one of the trees has fallen over.
it looks like a Tarrasque has come through the village.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, in here. Oh,
You know
she's gonna
what?
eat.
I actually, I'm quite jealous right now because I could really use some sweetness, and that would be. Looks
Can
quite.
you, can you taste anything right now?
The wine tastes good.
Yeah, well,
I can just about taste that.
at least you have strong memories to draw on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Hounds and Jackals is saying, clearly you need to use candy for karma points so we can eat them too, if using these D6 and the marshmallow die 6.
A marshmallow D6.
That was
Okay.
cheap. Eat them.
Okay, and Mia Geek is saying, didn't submit, but I ran my one-shot dungeon on Shadows of Arconia for the last episode of a pulp adventure, the Maltese Maze.
Mhm.
Yeah, that sounds basically sounds like anywhere during rush hour here, with all the roadworks and stuff.
Maltese maze, so it's basically just Carl stumbling back to his house late one.
Hey, I'm not 16 anymore. I don't do that stuff anymore. Okay, so next, let's see. So, Lisa, do you have any backstory for this, or is it just mimic houses and?
Just mimic houses and eat your terrain. 42.
I think we can
That's
get
the
on
one
board
shot.
with eating your terrain idea.
Yeah. It didn't quite come together as easily as I thought it would, but it was fun and tasty.
Yeah, no, practically no project ever does, you know?
Exactly. Yay. I did edible terrain.
Okay. Now you got that out of your system. Now you can stop asking for it every other month.
I think we should do the edible terrain thing again because I think we need to build some gingerbread terrain here in our house. My daughter would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I think sushi would make a good edible terrain. I don't know.
I don't know, what could you
Fruit.
build? Fruit?
Yeah, you know, the thing that always worried about making an edible terrain challenge is that, some people can cook and can make nice edible terrain. But, yeah, you never know who's on the internet, and I don't want to be responsible for mass food poisoning. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think that's one of the keys is it actually has to be edible.
Yes.
You should have to eat it afterwards, like on hand.
Yeah, but technically speaking,
Anybody can just use food.
Technically
you know.
speaking, everything is edible once. I mean,
Yeah.
even plutonium. Once.
Yeah. Yes.
Uncooked ramen bricks.
What?
Uncooked ramen bricks.
I think cake
Filled
is
with
really
cooked
good.
food.
Oh, good. Okay. We've in the meantime, let's see. Hi, Patty, and hi, Dirty Basement Rain. Good to see you. Caverna Lekis is asking, what inspired you, Lisa?
make edible terrain. Um,
I think it was
I
a head,
honestly-
possibly a bump in the head.
a bump on the head. I honestly don't remember what it was that inspired me, but I have thought of so many different things to make. I was looking at, those chocolate fountains and maybe, make a volcano out of that, or, I had all kinds of ideas for edible terrain. I don't know what inspired me to think about edible terrain. Maybe it's because I'm dieting.
Yeah, could be. And Caverna is suggesting a Hydra made out of spaghetti.
Oh, flying spaghetti monster, sure.
Well, Lawrence is saying he hasn't done edible terrain yet, but technically mealyworms are
Yeah,
edible.
I mean,
That's true.
They are.
That's true.
They are. Like I was saying up at the, what's that place up in Portland where you can get the
Oh, I think what it's called, the Piliarium or
the
something.
peculiarium where you can get ice cream with
Different bugs on it
different bugs on it and
as
stuff.
topping.
People go
They thought it was a good idea.
Okay. All right. We've seen Stranger Things, so let's not dwell on that.
It's a good show.
Hmm?
Sorry.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. I do have a submission by Dr. Tom.
Me.
Who?
That guy.
Oh yeah.
So,
La-
it's the this is the document.
Oh, yeah. So, La Voz de los Muertos. So, Tom, do you want to walk us through this?
Sure. So I have a very long commute. That's the genesis of this.
There you go.
So as I'm sitting on the 405 freeway in Los Angeles, there's really not much to do. So you think about stuff like this. So what I was thinking was, I mean, I've been playing RPGs for a long time, and I thought how like Northwestern European centric they always seem to be, or they frequently seem to be. Everything is half timbered houses and stone gateways and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't, I mean, I've played a lot of things that weren't set there, but like you had to make a point of not playing something that was set in Northwestern Europe. TSR's old Zakara campaign or something like that, which was fun, but I mean, you had to make a real point of it. And I was thinking, why don't people do other things even within Europe? Because I don't think I've ever seen anything set in in a real Mediterranean world.
That's coming.
Even
That's coming.
medieval.
That's coming, Tom. That's coming.
Yeah, I'm sure. And then I felt bad because I'm building a campaign that's set in 9th century England. So I mean, obviously I drunk the Kool-Aid as well. But this idea just came to me out of nowhere. And basically the idea is that this is a one-shot that would be set in a town that would be right out of a spaghetti western.
The town of Chorizo.
Yes. Which it's chorizo, which is not very far from Hamlet.
Omelet.
Or omelet, yeah. And the idea is that not only the characters for once don't have a quest. It's the villain that has a quest. So you simply encounter somebody who has a quest. And this is a necromancer / bard who has a particular quest. You don't know what it is, but you first encounter him in the town, and he's basically just running a shell game. But instead of having cups and balls, he's using skulls. And if someone plays the game, he makes them sing a few bars and then touch whatever skull it is that he thinks that the player thinks the ball is on. And the idea is that if he likes your voice, essentially the next morning you're going to wake up without a voice. So you can play that off. You can just have townspeople doing it. You can have, obviously, if the players play, that gets them right in. And then at the fairground, which is sort of where there's obviously more games and stuff going on, he does a variety act essentially with ventriloquism, but with a skull. He sings, an invisible chorus accompanies him, but he's not bad, but they're absolutely amazing. And even his wagon is sort of a standard wagon, except for a large locked cabinet that contains skulls, just rank upon rank of skulls, but they are labeled according to their voice. So they're a soprano, they're an alto, they're a baritone, whatever.
Mhm.
And then when, whatever, the town riots and comes, the peasants attack with flaming torches and stuff like that, he retreats to the town graveyard and starts raising the undead. And basically what he is he's on a quest to assemble the greatest a cappella choir ever. But along the way, he's created the world's best backing vocalist to help him in the quest.
Okay.
So the idea is that the party just falls into this. It isn't, they're not there for any particular reason.
Yeah, this thing is going on whether they do anything or not.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I like that kind of thing.
That's the idea. I mean, there's obvious references to the cabinet of Dr. Caligari and stuff like that, but
And edible terrain.
Yeah.
Because his name's Teresa.
Yeah, Teresa and Hamlet.
Mhm.
So anyway, that was the idea. I wanted to do something that was a little different, again, from the usual, stone, stone gatehouse and half timbered house. Put it in a place that Clint Eastwood would like to go, and see what happened.
Caverna wants to know if it's necrobard or bardmance.
Yeah, I don't know. It would sort of depend on how you saw him. I mean, he has a quest.
Necrobard sounds cooler.
Yeah, necrobard does sound pretty good, but I think he is a bard because it's all about the voice,
The singing thing,
right?
yeah.
It's all about the music. So the necro part is really just a means to an end.
And
No, anyway, that's all it is.
it is a very unique
go beyond
character,
God.
and it does sound like a lot of fun.
This is the kind of thing he thinks when he's driving.
Yeah,
I think
those commutes do get fun.
very useful use of his time.
Yeah, well, it's either that or cursing at people on the freeway. So,
Or cursing people just in
yeah, we're just cursing everything.
skull.
But and then I get home and I tell Lisa, and she tells me it's a silly idea.
No, I don't.
But when you're cursing people on the highway, like when you're not thinking these things up, are you actually like doing?
I'm
like,
actually cursing them. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
Avada cadaver.
They're all cursed anyway because they're terrible drivers. But
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to drop a link to Dungeon Matron's Discord over in the chat. So if anyone wants to join in, we have all sorts of extremely sensible and weird discussions every week, basically.
Very deep, educational.
Very educational.
Thrilling.
Yeah. Occasionally terrifying. Yeah.
Very cool.
Right. Okay. So shall we move on to the next one?
When are we playing?
What are you doing?
Say again, Mike.
Which one are you doing?
I was going to go with Sophie's next.
Sophie. Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
This is great.
Ooh, that's beautiful. I
Her own
love
Mm.
I love that style of mapping. It's what is
Yeah.
that called?
Her own drawings.
Oh yeah.
It's almost MC Escher.
Wow, that's fantastic.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. What is so great about that is that so many times people run through dungeons and never look up, and in this tells you you'd better look up.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, I think Ed Greenwood of Forgotten Realms had created monsters specifically for that. The what do you call cloakers? I think they just hang on the ceilings and drop on people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he did those specifically because people never look up.
Yeah. Piercers and lurkers and
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Hounds and Jackals is saying the art is fabulous. And I totally
Yeah.
agree. It is absolutely breathtaking.
This makes me want to play it right now.
Yes,
Oh,
it
yeah.
does. I'm going to
Oh.
play it.
Check out the details in here.
I know. Isn't that beautiful? That is great.
So good.
Hey,
Yeah.
Kim.
Hey, Kim, good to see you.
This is all. Oh,
I
so it's
so
literally hand drawn on paper, and then
I'm not sure if it was hand-drawn. I think she mentioned using her a drawing tablet. But
no, I know. But if you look at, I think it's the third one along. There's a GIF
Yep.
going through the process. It looked like there was a pair of scissors holding down the sheet. Yeah, so like, I think it was drawn on paper first, and
okay,
then
and then
brought
scanned in. All right, yeah, that makes sense.
scanned in.
that is
in
amazing.
tablet. Yeah. So, but it was drawn on gridded paper, which, like, because the perspective is amazing. Like, really good.
Oh, you're
Some of
right. Caverna says it's a spaghetti creature. That's all I'll be eating today. Is
And it's spaghetti soup too.
spaghetti soup.
Yeah.
Oh, I think,
Wow.
and I think over here there's different iterations of that thing in the creature in the bottom as she was working on it.
That is God, that's gorgeous. Wow. Wow.
Come on. Doesn't it animate when you? It doesn't animate if you're.
It's just that you start with a 3/4 view. That is so tremendous. That's such a great building.
Uh-huh.
And it's got a lot of levels, which going up and down forces you to think your way through it.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
different ways of moving through. Okay, and here we have a version with notes. So let's see. Okay, Mike, do you want to do a reading?
Do any what?
Do you want to do a reading?
Do a reading? Give me a reading.
Okay, it's the one with the notes. There's a box out on the top right-hand side. The water temple.
Let me just see. I need to get out of here. So on the notes, on the top, where do I find the notes?
Right corner.
Third image.
Yeah.
Third image. It's the GIF.
No, not the GIF. 1 second.
No.
Sorry, it's image number 2.
Image number 2.
One-shot dungeon, the water temple with DM notes.
Right. Yes, I can do that. Right. So top right-hand corner. Boom, boom, boom. 1 second. Here we go. Okay. Hopefully I read this. I'm totally dyslexic, but we'll get through it. The once crystal clear waters of the region have become murky and foul-smelling, ruining crops and making people sick. That's what's just happened to me. Your adventures have best to set things right. Their investigations have led them here to the entrance of an old temple of water, which has fallen into disrepair. What happened? A local tribe of goblins, in their rather limited wisdom, has begun copying religious practices in their own way. They found the goddess in the inner sanctum of this derelict temple and have started bringing in offerings, hoping for its blessings. The god is in fact some sort of foul, slimy monster, now engorged beyond belief and polluting the water it lives in at an alarming rate. How to run this? This one shot is not written for a specific system. Instead, a difficulty is indicated for rolls and fights. Adapt these to your system of choice and the level of your characters. And if you're in a hurry to have slow players, feel free to scrap some elements. For example, the puzzle at the entrance, the slidey stairs and accompanying riddle, the theft-based teleportation, the silent doorway, and the sarcophagi battle can all be removed without issue. Have fun. Very cool.
Nice.
And then each individual room here's also got like little blurb that you could go into.
Okay, for example, here. The stairs turn into a slide if you cross over without having dipped your feet in water, launching right into a room frog.
This looks
extremely well thought through. It's really
cool. Okay, let's see. Simple puzzle. Nice. So, in addition to all this, Sophie also left a coloring book version of the thing. So for people who want to color it in themselves.
I like that. That's cute. That's a good idea.
Okay, it's to color in or light on fire, she says.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I mean, personally, I think this one, this animation.
Mhm.
I will say that the beast, the sewer beast, is very cute though.
It is, yeah.
Which
Maybe
is-
he's just a pet. I mean, it isn't not necessarily a beast, not really
Yeah.
a monster.
It's there to lure you into a false sense of security. It's like, oh, hi, cute little guy. Like, ah,
Okay.
Oh.
Let's see. Hounds and Jackals is asking, do you do freelance cartography work? I don't think Sophie's in the chat right now, but you could probably ask her on Dungeon Matrix Discord.
Yes. Absolutely.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, this animation for me is like, okay, whoa, nice.
That would be a fun build too, though, if you were to build that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Huge, but fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Supporting it would be the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably would have to come up with some kind of anti-gravity to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, now this one is from Quirrell, who I believe is in the chat.
Woo!
I'm catching up here.
Oops. Wait,
Miss Quaral, is that right? Or
no, other Quirrell. Or Quirrell, or
Oh, nice.
yeah.
So what does this say? We have
okay. So
This one's-
Quirrell, if you want to join in the call, I'm going to drop the
please do. Okay.
link in there.
Very cool.
Where was that? Here it was. Okay, so this one shot has one of the player characters getting kidnapped by goblins. The other player characters have to save them before they become the next sacrifice. So I like that it's a neat little board. It's like drop it in place and you can play on it.
Is it a real skeleton? A real skull? No.
Oh, yes, quite possibly. Quite possibly.
Sort of like a rat or some sort of rodent or something.
Cindy, click on the Zoom link
Yeah,
that Carl put.
I think this was a squirrel skull, if I'm not mistaken. And then these are the Dollar Tree bones from the crow, I believe.
Get my phone and see if to get on Discord.
Here.
Okay, Cindy, I posted a Zoom link just above your comment. You should just be able to. Okay, it's loading.
Oh, she's in. Okay.
Okay, just keep going through this in the meantime.
Oh, I like how it's got levels, or it could have levels, and it does have levels. But I mean, you could. It's stackable, I think, isn't it? Mermaid bones. Yeah. I love the color. I love the color of the stone.
Yeah, it's very unusual. It's not the usual gray and brown stuff.
Yeah. I like it.
You want to know what's weird? And I'm color impaired, but stone actually almost looks like marbled meat.
Marbled meat.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You are not wrong.
Edible terrain.
Edible terrain, yeah.
Nah,
How do you like your terrain? I like your
possibly.
rare.
Possible.
Oh, Cindy says she can't seem to join.
Ah,
Oh.
damn it.
Oh, that's a nice piece of porterhouse, right? I like the way that the ones on the edge come up as if they're just reaching out to grasp.
Yes.
The,
that looks
the ones over here, yeah?
Yeah.
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 Ones on the side there, these long, finger, almost look, I mean, they're not finger bones, but they look like it. Like there's something bigger underneath this reaching up almost.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
could be that could be part of the adventure, I guess. Like if they fail at their mission, then the thing under the thing wakes up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a one shot that you can use as the introduction to something much, much bigger.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
The one thing I'm not sure about is like using one of the player characters as a bait, because that kind of, I guess, unless they're missing the session anyway or something.
She says she's almost in.
Okay.
Her internet is spotty sometimes, so I get it. One shot for as a breakfast and then another one for lunch. I'm there. Do it.
That's a great breakfast. It's like gingerbread and icing. Actually, that's a Pop-Tart. No, it's a Pop-Tart. That's what that is. Pretty much.
So breakfast of champions, huh?
Yes, exactly.
I heard Zoom ringing. Is she able to get in?
I can't see her yet.
Participants. I don't see anybody coming in.
I like the bones, how you can't tell if it's all part of the same creature or if it's part of different creatures.
Yeah, it looks like a huge composite thing, yeah?
Yeah,
Yes.
they're sort of semi-disarticulated.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Pizza UDT.
Yeah.
Okay, so Quirrell in the house. Pizza tearing.
Yeah, they're semi-disarticulated.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Is someone coming through now?
Yeah. Sorry, Cindy, could you turn off your the audio on the video, please? Otherwise, it will just get an echo.
Echo, echo, echo.
Yeah.
It doesn't help Michael.
Yeah.
Is someone coming through now?
Yeah. Sorry, Cindy, could you turn off your the audio on the video, please? Otherwise, it will just get an echo. Hey, Al.
Okay.
Echo.
How do we turn off the audio
Doesn't
video?
No, just turn off the audio in YouTube.
How do we?
Just
Sorry,
mute
Cindy, could you-
the video.
Yeah, how do we do that?
The audio on the video, please.
How do we do that?
Otherwise,
On
it will
YouTube,
just.
there's a little microphone looking symbol.
Okay. How do we turn off the audio?
Doesn't
Oh.
No, just turn off the audio in YouTube. Okay.
Like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Got it? Okay.
We've never used Zoom before.
Okay. It's the first time we've done this.
Hey, no worries. So, first of all, great to hear from you. And second, would you like to walk us through this great piece of terrain here?
Sure. So, well, I've never walked anybody through my terrain before. Starting off, every piece of the terrain is scraps. Scraps from other people's, either my daughter's or my own or my wife's other projects that might have otherwise just been tossed, that I just wanted to repurpose into something. So that's basically what I did. I just repurposed it into this ancient ruin. And I wanted to make it look like it was part of the Badlands or some similar place.
Okay, hence the color. Okay.
You know, with a splash of you know, the dead monsters, and you know, not quite sure how long or you know, even which monsters they are or how long each of them have been there.
That's good.
Possibly like, you know, the one in the middle, you know, maybe was already there before the goblin came upon it.
Okay.
But obviously some of the stuff the goblins put there themselves. It's
What's
not
the
quite
material you-
finished, but
Oh, it's not.
no, there's still a few accoutrements I wanted to put in there, but I was thinking about putting some dead, obviously they're dead, some skulls and some more skulls, human skulls and rib cages and things like that laying around.
Okay.
Speaking of skulls, is the skull, is that a real skull, or is that just part from the toy that you took apart for the skeletons and stuff?
The big skull on top,
Yeah.
that is a real squirrel skull.
Yeah.
From yeah. I hunt squirrels around our property and we eat the meat and use the squirrels hide and the skulls and the other bones in our projects, which I do. There are other bones from the squirrels I do plan on putting also around in the
Oh.
landscape.
Very cool.
You can get
Yeah. There's
cool
other,
little
yeah, there's
claws
other
from those guys.
flocking and what's that?
I bet you can get cool little claws from those guys, right?
Yes, there are some cool little claws.
Yeah.
Will be on there, so you'll see that on just later when I'm actually finished. There'll be some more flocking, some sand and things like that.
Have you got a rotary tool like a Dremel kind of tool?
We do.
I was just like, because I've had an idea in my head for ages about a real skull in the middle of the terrain, but that you could do like almost like Celtic engravings into the skull. This is just an idea that I've been wanting to do myself, but I don't have any skulls at the minute. I need to get a skull.
For the squirrel skull, you mean?
Yeah, any skull would do, but yeah, like I mean, like to like if you walked into like this place where the actual skull was engraved with like runes or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, we're happy to share squirrel skulls with people. We've traded with a few people. The squirrel skull might be too fragile for a Dremel. You might have to do something else like maybe a pen and then paint over it or something. They're pretty fragile. A lot of times she has to glue them back together.
Oh, all right.
After skinning them. This one, in fact, is
Michael, I
together.
can't believe you don't just go down to your local skull shop and buy some. You know?
I mean, or just,
you don't have to trade for them.
Walk through the local fields and
yeah.
So I had a question. How did you have it in mind to play this? Like you mentioned that a player character would be captured. Would they still be active and be able to help it in an escape attempt, or are they like missing the session or something like that?
Oh yeah. They'll be able to participate in their own way. They would probably be held in that area.
This thing that looks like
my own homemade goblin. I have that homemade goblin there. He used to be a little football player. Yeah, right there.
Little green guy. Wait a sec.
Yeah, the only one that's painted.
Ah, all right.
Yeah, he's standing in front of kind of an entrance area.
Yeah.
In that one picture.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, right there.
So would he be like, I don't know, chained up like Fay Ray and King Kong?
Either that or tied up.
Yeah.
Yeah, or yeah, I was thinking maybe even putting in some whittled what do you call those little sticks maybe in the front.
A bone prison.
Yeah, or even bones. I've got
Yeah.
some more bones.
Yeah.
Lawrence did send us plenty of bones.
You could do it with
All the
rib
bones on there are from Lawrence except for the skull, anyways. So, thank you, Lawrence.
You could build an Iron Maiden out of rib cage.
Oh, I like that. I
That's
like
true.
Okay, Mike,
True.
hi HNX Media, by the way. HNX Media is saying, wear a mask if cutting or engraving real bone. The dust will
yeah.
aggravate your throat and lungs. Just an FYI from a retired trapper. Yeah, thanks for the link.
Yeah. So if you see on this picture here, right above my homemade goblin where he's standing, I'm going to alter that a bit. And of course that will mean I'll need to repaint it and stuff, but I didn't quite have time. But there will be a bigger place where they can stand and
Okay.
then where they actually do a sacrifice, and a feature where the blood will be coming out, and eventually it'll look like it's running down into that old well
Okay.
that statue is.
That is-
So it'll be dripping down and then, collecting kind of in that old well.
Nice.
I haven't done a water feature yet, so that'll be a big new thing for me.
Okay, are you planning to use water effects or UV resin or something of the sort?
To do what?
What are you planning to use? Resin or water effects or?
Not resin, but probably hot glue, because that's my best friend.
That works. Yeah.
So
I
I
found
guess-
to make blood on hot glue, go buy red enamel nail polish and just paint
Red
it over
enamel.
the hot glue. Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you so much. Because I was racking my brain because I know it doesn't take paint very well. It's like, so cool. Red enamel, red nail polish. I will definitely go get that. It'll be the only time I buy nail polish.
Yeah, glossy. Like, you have to get the kind that dries glossy, and then it'll look a lot like blood.
Excellent. Okay, now that's exciting. Cool. I will go get some.
Yeah, I really like the idea that there was something going on here. The goblins moved in later. They've made modifications. A lot of stuff is like built as if it's like a unit, but this is one with a history.
Yes, definitely.
And it looks like meat, right?
And it looks like meat. So.
Yeah, and then eventually there'll be, some wooden ladders and things like that. And it'll I'll probably build some other terrain that goes around it that is matching their huts and things like that.
We're joking about the meat, but I'm telling you, I like the fact that it's a reddish stone. I like that a lot because you see gray or brown, and I like the reddish stone.
Mhm.
I think that's a nice
Well, it looks like sandstone to a certain
sandstone.
degree.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Thank you.
like Petra or something.
Okay, so
I was pretty pleased with how that turned out.
Mhm.
I don't blame you. I think it's awesome.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I did not want to go for the typical gray again.
Mhm.
I definitely didn't want to do that. I was trying to go for a bit of a lighter tone, but that didn't work out. But it was more of a happy, oh, you know what? I like this. So, because I was going to do moss and things like that, but it turned out more deserty. So that's fine. We'll go deserty then.
So by the looks of it, you underpainted it with some kind of yellow and then brushed over it with orange?
Yeah, I actually used some mocha in there, brick red, Mississippi mud, some terracotta. What else did I use?
Just
Some
terracotta.
espresso, all kinds of different stuff like that. I'm trying to think if there's anything other unique. Those would be the main ones. Some burnt umber also.
All right.
But
So
several versions of coffee though.
But pretty much.
Coffee's our friend.
I did on the bridge and the broken parts of what would be the broken parts of the bridge structures. I did start off with a blue gray and a pewter gray, and then I went over that with the other colors. So you can kind of see some gray in there, but just I wanted to do that for a little bit of variation. And with the ground and the main structure, I didn't want to do the same layers, for all of them. So I varied the layering for the 3 different parts of it, or what I considered the 3 different parts, so that it didn't all just, you look at it and it's just the same. Wanted it to look varied.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What's really cool about this is how it's all the ground is all broken up, right? But you can't tell, is it broken up because of something coming up, or was it broken? Is it broken up because something fell on something and it died like that?
Right.
So I like that.
Yeah. And nobody in the world will know.
No
I'll
one
know because I took a giant rock that I have and I just smashed everything. I was like, well, how do I want to break this up? And I found this rock and I was like, smash it. And then
That works. That works.
and then work with it. And then I worked with what was left over.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and it looks like fun to play through. Okay, so since you're online, I guess we can go to Mrs. Squirrel's building.
All right. There you go.
There we go.
So that was easy. Didn't have to log
Oh,
in.
wow.
There you are.
Hey, that was great.
Easiest transition yet.
Yeah, we're getting good at this. Okay, so Patty, I'm not sure which one would be the first.
The first one is the one with the kitchen and the dining room table.
This one.
That one. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, girl.
All right, Carl. Yeah.
So basically, I did do Call of Cthulhu,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a lot of newbies, and so I wanted to have some reference instead of just doing theater of the mind. So I made my own clue board.
It's great. I love the top-down perspective on the cabinets.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think you've even got here till is there these books or a piano or something?
Oh, my books. Yeah,
All right.
it was.
Now that's what I'm saying.
I'd never worked with so much construction paper before.
So okay, so this is all paper, even the textures in here.
Even the floor. Yep,
All right.
everything is construction paper. Except like, for example, the desk, it's that really thin, wimpy foam, craft foam you can get from the craft store, the really cheap stuff.
Okay, that's why it's a bit more elevated than the others. Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted a little bit of elevation, but not, I wanted to have a really good profile for everything because I wanted it to be able to be folded into my
Chairs
little.
too, right?
What's
Say
that?
again?
The chairs as well.
I'm
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need it to be a chair. You just needed to invoke a chair.
Invoke a chair.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just if there's a chair there and you can use it, you can throw it, you can do whatever you need to do with that chair.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that supposed to be a book or a file?
It looks like
That's
a
on the
folder full
table.
of notes. Yeah.
Right. There's papers, and that's actually a book. And if you play with it, it actually opens.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Woohoo.
It
I
took
like
a long time. Like, I like little details. So I thought that I would make one that opened if anybody wanted to touch the board.
What does it have on the inside when you open it?
Oh, nothing. Just little ruins and stuff that you'll see later.
Oh,
Okay.
that's cool.
And you've got a fully set dinner table here. It's fun.
And this game actually hasn't been complete. It was supposed to be a one shot, but we are actually going to finish it up.
Okay.
Or the 23rd. But we got prepared.
Yeah. The other person I've seen
And I
doing
forgot to
this.
put stairs in. So if you see the little tan piece right there in the middle, that's actually stairs.
Okay.
I forgot to put stairs and I ran out of time for the game.
So there's a second floor to this then?
Yeah,
There
yeah.
is. So the next floor over is the upstairs.
Ah.
So the other person I saw doing this kind of architecture, top-down thing was Chris Lilsey. But that was more of an architectural drawing kind of thing. I like the extra details on this one.
Me too. I really, really like this. It's great.
Oh, pool table.
I mean, it's when you look,
Yeah,
it
it's a pool
looks like
table.
you're looking directly down into the room because there is a little bit of elevation to some of the stuff. So you do have shadow lines. Like if you just look there where you're looking at the minute, like the sofa on the left, there's like the shadow lines around the table, shadow lines around things. So it looks 3D, but you're looking down.
Well, see, I absolutely loved the game of Clue as a kid because I loved the boards.
Mhm.
I loved playing with the boards, even when we weren't playing with the game. I don't like my bathroom. I was going to change that, but again, ran out of time. And downstairs, I don't know if you noticed, but I made a rug downstairs and it took forever
This one,
to
yeah.
create this rug. This is all different layers of construction paper and paint. It was a pain in the butt. And
Nice rug though.
then on the second floor, just at the right moment, a friend of mine donated a bunch of quilting scraps.
All right.
Mm.
I was like, these would make perfect rugs. And so these rugs are just Mod Podged.
Mhm.
We have the different patterns on all the different rugs.
Okay.
Because this would be a house back in the 20s that would have, or 30s, I guess, that would have all these different rugs because you wouldn't have carpet.
And you're also using them for blankets and stuff like that, yeah?
Exactly, blankets and again, just an illusion of chairs because I didn't know how to make a.
Yeah, yeah, an illusion is all you need here.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a
No,
lot of fun.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah,
it's a
but-
lot of fun to make. It's a great map.
And then everybody could be in different rooms at the same time. Let's split up. And then I could be like, oh, you're still over here. Okay, great. It helped my brain too, because I ended up with how many players did we have? 7 players when we
Whoa,
only
all right.
expected to have 3. So it was a little, and I discovered that I hate corrugated cardboard. This because I just had a great piece of cardboard that I wanted to use, and you see how it's warped.
Yeah.
And so on the next maps, you'll see I discovered priority boxes, and those do not warp.
Okay.
So
What
you
are,
look at
what
the
are they
next
made of?
ones. These ones are made out of just corrugated cardboard. These ones are made out of priority box cardboard, and it never warped. As much paint and as much Mod Podge and stuff I
Is
put
it
on there and
still is it
layers.
still a kind of corrugated cardboard, or is it constructed
It's a
differently?
little bit of a corrugated cardboard, yeah.
All right.
Is it double ply corrugated?
Yeah, and for some reason it just doesn't warp.
Are the plies is the one ply going this way and the other ply going the other way?
Let me look. I've got a
that-
chunk here.
That might be why.
A lot of chunks right here, actually. On my, I'm not going to show you my work table because it's a mess. But it's very thin.
But it's really stiff, it looks like.
Very stiff.
Really
It's
stiff.
well, it's supposed to be able to go to the mail all over the
Yeah.
place and withstand, right? And so I like, for example, all those floors were Mod Podged and then painted and then Mod Podged and then, other water. I was like, this is not going to hold up. This is going to be destroyed by all this water. And it didn't warp at all. So I'm going to use that from now on because these boxes are free.
One thing that might help if you don't have
And I
that,
did both sides.
just to straighten it out, yeah. But one thing I find useful when working with cardboard terrain is to spray it with varnish before I start putting on any paint or anything liquid on it. So if you can,
Spray with varnish.
yeah. So if
okay.
you can't
Well,
get
I
hold
don't
of
have varnish.
priority boxes, that's a good second option.
So what I did was I Mod Podged both sides and I found the heaviest books I could find and squished them for 24 hours on the other 2
Mhm.
and they still worked. So Varnish is a good idea.
I'll have to keep
But
that
then
in
I found
mind.
this other cardboard, so
So did you copy the map in Clue, or this is your own floor plan?
there are map examples, and then I made it my own.
Okay.
Okay. So, and we have another floor to go here, yeah?
So this is just a view down of the house. You can't actually get in this house in this. Oh, I'm not going to give away details. Shush! Don't listen.
I'll plug my ears.
Okay. She's one of my players.
Okay.
It's a view down of a house, and not a lot. Everything is going to be theater of the mind mostly. Like where this circle is, I have an old chess piece that's going to go there as a statue on the little round circle here, and those
Over
are
here,
just
yeah.
trees, top trees. There's a fresh dug grave up there on the right. And because you can't enter this particular house, that's why we're just doing the outside of the lawn.
All right. I mean, what I like about it is that it's really straightforward, and you can tell what the stuff. I mean, you know that there are trees here. You know that there's a grave and stuff. So it does give a lot of information, even if it's very simple.
Great.
So this was my least favorite map of all of them, but it was necessary.
Okay, so
I like how you did the roof on that house. I like it a lot. And there's a chimney and everything. It's very clear what that is.
And what I ended up doing for that roof is I used all the scraps from my flooring on the other ones.
Oh, there you
I
go.
had a lot of
Alright.
cutoffs and stuff.
so literally nothing wasted, yeah.
Nothing wasted because I just used all the cutoffs from my flooring from the other
Nice.
houses,
Now,
layers.
before we go into the last picture, would you like to give us like this story so far, like what happened with the when you were running this?
You want to know the story or you want to know how it went?
Both.
Well, basically, the story is that a man sends a letter to his friends in Boston, or is it Chicago? Anyways, Chicago, I think. And I kicked her out, so she can't hear. So good. Made her go outside. And his daughter had like a celebration for her 16th birthday. And up until her birthday, she was having nightmares that something was going to happen. And in the nightmare, as soon as she got on stage and was introduced, happy birthday, everything would go blank and she'd wake up and her twin or her doppelganger would be there. And she would have a sense that relatives were involved, and everything was just scary and noises, and this was her dream. And it was so bad that the dad started to become concerned because she would not calm down. She would scream out at night, became lethargic during the day, up into this party. So he had sent a letter because the party had happened and it had come true. So at her party, as she comes up there and says, "Oh, happy birthday," she's twinned for some reason. So now there's an exact copy of herself. And even the dad can't tell them apart because they are exactly the same. They talk at the exact same time. There's no difference in personality or anything. So, but the dad freaked out, didn't know which one was his, and took both. So he sends a letter to his investigator friends to say, "Hey, help me out. What the hell's going on? I need your help. Everything's gone terrible." Now both these girls are having nightmares. And he's terrified because he doesn't know what's going to happen. He doesn't know why this happened. So they come down, the team, what a mess, the team, come down it's actually in Ohio. And the dad has opened up his home and said, "Oh, come in, have dinner, have a great time." Well, one of my players, a brand new in TTRPG, never played games before, kind of lost her shit. Was starting to throw plates, wanted to burn down the house, wanted to kill the main character.
What?
I've never had a character so bad, a player so disruptive in my life. And so I sent her into like a Cthulhu insanity where she's dark and she's in a casket and she can't get out, and all she hears is scratching and screaming from the outside, and there she sits for the rest of the game. Anyway, and what basically happens is we barely saved that part because this man, he's the main clue giver, right? They haven't interviewed the daughters yet. And the dad, he says, I really don't know much more than I can tell you what I told you in the letters. We had this party. Everything went black. Nobody saw anything. Now I have these two girls. I'm scared. They're scared. And so this one with the brown is the daughter's room. The one with the little bed, because of course she was a single daughter. Now she's two. So she's sharing that. The one with that's one on the right here. That's the daughter's room.
Okay. Okay.
And of course, the dad's lounge is over there. And the wife has been passed away for a long time. So he's a bachelor. He's alone, trying to raise his daughter the best he can. And so the investigators had to go through and find clues, of course. So we barely saved that because, again, the story had to go on. And so because the players were freaking out and doing things they weren't supposed to be doing, which I've never had a player do before in my life, the girls
really?
scream, go upstairs and lock themselves. Not in a clue type game. I've had that weirdness happen sometimes in a dungeon or in a town, but never in a game where you're literally supposed to be asking questions and finding clues. Anyways, so the girls freak out and they go lock themselves in the room. This is where the party splits up. Some are trying to get into the room, get the girls to talk. The dad's mad. The dad, he doesn't want to talk anymore. He's pissed off. He doesn't know why you're destroying his home. He doesn't know why his life is being threatened. He doesn't know why these rude people have come into his home. He's made a mistake calling us in. It would. Anyways, we had some pretty great players who were able to calm him down, help him grieve for his wife. The housekeeper that was in the house, she starts cleaning up the mess. Everything starts to calm down just a bit. This other woman is literally, the other player is literally catatonic in front of the bookshelf.
That's the new player you mentioned, right?
The player that is now in the casket and has been asked to leave the game completely. She's catatonic in front of the bookshelf. So everything now is calmed down. They start searching, they find clues and hints that the uncle and aunt are involved, that there's some kind of evil going on, but they don't know exactly what. Upstairs, when they go upstairs, they finally try to lockpick the girl's door. And as they start to lockpick, they hear screaming. And then they hear screaming. Ah! At the same time, the people upstairs hear a gunshot, like, hey, what are you doing here? And then a gunshot. And so there was a knock on the door. The main character, he goes to open the door and he's shot in the head.
You can tell that
He's
and
not
finally
having a good
break
day.
into the room and the girls are gone. Disappeared. So yeah, and so now the house is basically empty. And back in the 30s, they didn't have a phone, so there was no way to just call the police because now this guy's dead. But there's all this debris and broken carnage that my player has done to the house. We don't even want to contact the police because we're going to be involved. So they find out, yeah, and there's this. They go into this room, the girls' room, and they start hearing something coming from the wall that's real creepy and like in a different language, almost like a chanting, but it's like a screech. And the girl has dolls everywhere, on the bed, under the bed, on her nightstands, on her table. She's a 16-year-old girl. She's collected dolls her whole life. And in the 30s, the dolls were fucking scary.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would be around
You
the
know,
time when I would break
porcelain
out the
dolls and
flamethrower.
things. And it feels like the eyes are following you, and all of a sudden they notice that one of the doll's eyes really is following them. And
I
that
don't remember
becomes
this in Clue.
it's a little creepier than Clue. One of my players freaks out and grabs the doll and smashes it with his, I don't remember what he had, a bat or a pipe or something. Anyways, he destroys the doll because he's like, I have actually, my character wanted to go outside the box, and he became a 10-year-old boy that was kind of an indentured servant to the bar owner, who is my wife. And she brought him along to keep an eye on him, I guess. He broke the doll, and my players are on one side of the wall hearing this screeching and creeping coming out of the wall. And I have another player in the lounge by the pool table, and he hears the noise from the same wall. And I have kind of a hot-headed player, and he says, I'm just gonna bust down the wall. Screw this. I can't, this is scary. So he starts trying to bust down the wall, and of course he's rolling terribly, so he's not able to get the wall completely. And the other guy just hears it. He got his head right up against the wall. And my player says, fine, I'm just gonna shoot it. I'm just gonna shoot the wall. And I'm like, what? You're gonna
See,
what?
this is the danger of splitting the party, right?
Yes. So he's just gonna shoot the wall. He's pissed off that his big broody self can't break himself through this wall. So he decides to shoot. The other guy has to roll for dodge, because now at the exact time he's leaning into here, the other guy, the gun goes off.
And
the guy that was leaning in, he actually was very successful for his dodge. He was able to get out of the way just in time as the wall explodes, and there's this creepy doll covered in ruins, and she's chittering and making all these noises. And of course everybody has to, and it's made out of straw and other little bits, like almost like a what would you call them, those pen dolls?
Yeah, voodoo doll.
Like a voodoo doll, thank you. Almost like a voodoo doll on the wall that's making all these chittering noises, and they destroy it immediately. They can't, they have to roll for insanity as well. My poor guy that had to dodge had to roll for insanity because he just was traumatized because he was almost shot. My guy who just realized he almost shot his companion in the head had to roll for insanity because he just realized he almost blew his friend's head off. And then, of course, they all see the doll, and then they have to roll for insanity again because this doll makes them crazy, and they end up killing it. And as they do searches, there's ruins hidden throughout the house where the daughters would mostly be. So there's a rune underneath the bed. They find one in the kitchen cabinets. They find them in the bathroom hidden. There's just little ruins everywhere that is giving, like somebody has gone in the house and is using these ruins to control her dreams. They find some information in the books that go back to like how one of the gods or one of the rituals to control dreams.
So can you move the furniture on the map then? You're saying the stuff in bed?
You can't.
No, you can't. Okay.
Unfortunately, you can't. I was thinking about that, but then I thought I'd have all these bits and pieces. I'd never get the board put together, and then it would be just a mess.
Yeah, good point.
And you see a lot of mess on there where you see it looks like I've ripped up, because I'd put something down and glue it down. Like for example, right there.
Yeah, I see it.
I'd put something down. I'd be like, "Oh, I don't like that," and I'd rip it up and I'd ruin the floor. And I'd try to fix as best I could. And
I think it adds character. I like it.
It does,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Yeah,
the
for
house
sure.
is not a wealthy home. This house is, just a little bit below middle class. It looks like it's classy, but it's just barely being maintained. These people aren't very wealthy. They come from a wealthy family. Why aren't they still wealthy? What's the disconnect between the families?
Yeah.
Long story short, they find out it's the aunt and uncle's house. They go over to the aunt and uncle's house. There's all kinds of clues there. Yep, you have to leave now. Get out.
Okay, I'm leaving.
It's cold out. It's freezing. Get out.
The problem is that she could watch this on YouTube and realize that before the next game.
She doesn't like spoilers. So
Okay.
even while I was crafting right next to her, because we share the same long 8-foot table to craft on, she didn't want to know what was happening. So she's like, I don't want to see that. I'm like, but do you think this looks okay as a tree? Anyways, she's like, I don't care. So she wasn't much help, but she wasn't much help for my crafting. So they get to this house and there's some kind of a spell around the house. They can't get in. And so they have to search. And then, of course, a storm happens. It's Cthulhu. There's got to be a massive storm, right?
Yes.
There has to be at one point or another. And they end up finding all these clues that bring it together that the aunt and uncle are actually part of a cult. There's some information leading them to a warehouse. They had intentionally twinned the girls because they needed 2 sacrifices to open up a portal so that they could basically become one with the god or with Cthulhu himself or one of the greater gods. They had to open a portal, and it's a whole community. A whole community is normal librarians and grocery clerks. They're all part of this huge psycho cult, and they find a spell to be able to twin the girls because the spell requires identical sacrifices in every way. So they find this spell to twin her at her birthday. And if you have to go to the next one and you'll see. This is the big warehouse.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is where,
Great.
you know,
I
of
like the
course,
grades.
we haven't played this
When
one
the
out.
proverbial shit hits the fan.
Yes, we haven't played this one yet, but they're going to go in and there's going to be all these crazy people in cloaks. The girls are going to be here to find out the girls had been kidnapped by ghouls that were sent out by the aunt and uncle at the exact time. One of their goonies had killed the father because he was giving away too many clues, and they needed the girls and needed him distracted. And the girls are laying in the middle of this circle. There's going to be all these cloaked figures chanting and doing all this creepy ass shit. And if you look at that little teeny table right there, Lawrence mentioned he liked the details.
Yeah.
I don't know how close you can get, but that the ruined circle is actually on that first piece of paper.
Yeah, I
It's
see
like
it.
4 pieces of paper. Each piece of paper has a little bit of the ruins that are around the circle.
And there's a piece of cheese in here. I like that.
Yeah, well, it's a warehouse. There's all kinds of stuff in here.
Okay, one thing I really like, especially like about this is I love the texture of the stone there.
You
The
gotta
what?
tell them how you made the stone. Tell them.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's cardboard, construction paper again. I was able to. This has started my weird offshoot of using construction paper to make other things.
All right.
But I really liked how the stone turned out because I Mod Podged, ripped up crumpled construction paper, smoothed it out, Mod Podged it on both sides. I think this might have been even a yellow to start with, this construction paper. I don't remember, some weird color I don't like. And I painted it with sponge. I did all kinds of different browns and grays and blues and everything in this color. And then I Mod Podged it one more time with clear. And then I put Crayola dry clay because I had this crappy clay that I'm never ever going to use. It doesn't mold into anything. I'm not. My kids are too old to be crafting with Play-Doh, so anyways, I used that for the mortar on there.
All right.
So I smeared the whole thing with this clay and then washed it off and actually stuck in the mortar. And the wrinkles from crumpling up the paper, it held texture and dry brush really well.
Fabulous.
Really
I was really impressed by that's construction paper. Anybody can make that because construction paper costs like nothing.
Yeah.
That is probably the best slate texture I have ever seen, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I really like the split.
I think the mortar really makes it.
Absolutely, I agree. The mortar makes it.
And it's crazy because it cost me nothing.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with that floor so much that I started making those towers that I've been showing you.
I saw, and you have the tower with you. Can you show that?
I can't.
Amazing. Gotta see this.
Hang on.
Look at this, guys. Is that amazing or what? That is gorgeous. A
Nice.
little over to the other. There
There
you
you
go.
go.
I don't know if you can see detail, but it's
No, it's great.
Maybe hold it a little bit further away from the camera. Just yeah, there we go. Then we can get the whole thing in one go. Is that
One sec, sir.
is it a toilet roll tube?
no, this is actually medicine bottles.
Right. Okay. Ah, stacked on top of each other. Ah, very good.
Yeah. Flip up the top so we can see what the top looks like.
No,
Why?
because the top's not done yet.
Oh,
Yes. This is what the top. This is what the top is going to look like.
there you go.
Whale shit. I'm sorry. Well, darn. Oops.
That's all right. That's all right.
So I haven't done the top yet. The top is just filled
Well,
in.
yeah, I know what
But
you're
this
doing.
is what it's going to be. I don't know if you can see that.
A little closer. Bring it a little closer. And flip it up so we can see the inside.
Nice.
Yeah. See, look at that. That is amazing. That looks freaking awesome.
So it's going to have this flooring on top. I don't know if it's going to have the correlations or not on this one, but my next ones, because I'm, can't just make one. So this one is another one that I just made that is not dry brushed or anything. Doesn't look quite like stone yet, but see the top?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Oh, that's great because then you
Nice.
can use it to hold.
Then I can make whatever type of top I want for whatever scenario. If I want to use these to support up another second floor, if I want to stack them, if I want to put something on top that's going like a statue that comes to life and starts shooting arrows or magic at you or something. If I want to have the catacombs and have just glowing weird magical lights on top.
Or you could just use it as an ancient medicine bottle.
Correct.
Store your dice inside, maybe.
You can store anything
Oh my gosh, yeah.
because it's still empty. I didn't do anything with the inside.
Okay, I'm pretty sure
Oh.
that's also a lot of space to have batteries and electronics in
This
there. if you want
one
to
I
put
did
lights and stuff.
solid, so this one doesn't twist off. This one I did the whole thing over the top, not thinking about, oh, the top comes off and it screws on. Anyways, we just sidetracked. But that started this because I loved that texture so much on the stone. I thought, well, why not? Why can't I do it in 3D? Because I've made these before with foam, with making small little bricks and
Triggered.
So I have a question.
yep.
So the initial map was based on Clue, but you're playing Call of Cthulhu. So is it Clue Cthulhu?
No.
No, it's actually just Call of Cthulhu.
You know what I thought as well, though, that some of the storytelling kind of reminded me a little bit of Clue as well, like with the shot in the other room and everything. It just kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
And all the chaos goes crazy. I mean, because I do have players downstairs that are witnessing him opening the door and getting shot in the head, and I do have the ones upstairs that are hearing the screaming and everything going on at the same time. And do they want to run down and check on the shot, or do they want to figure out why the girls are screaming? They fail all their lock checks, so they can't just unpick the lock, and so should we just bust it down? And so there's a lot of chaos going on at the same time. It's pretty exciting. And then we had to cut short because unfortunately the beginning of the game took a little bit of time to figure out how to deal with the other issues in the game. So
This is a
and
great
this is the first time.
It's wonderful.
You inspired me because I've never played a Call of Cthulhu until I played with you. And that was the first time I've ever played. And so obviously I've wanted to play for a long time, but to get people to play, I thought I have to run a game so that they can discover Clue. See what you've done? Not Clue. Clue. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to run one before I can actually convince these people that this is something we want to play.
I'm glad. That's cool. It's a great map and a great game. I like what you've done very much. Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah. I mean,
thanks.
it sounds like a great story. So yeah, we'll probably be wanting to know what happens later once you finish running it.
Yeah, I
Right,
was
because who knows what's going to happen, because they control 90% of what's going to happen. And I pull out clues out of my butt half the time because they're doing something. I'm like, why are you looking there? But that's genius. So I don't want to, like, if you've thought of something really creative and really clever, I don't want to not reward you for finding something. So I just, yeah, there's a clue in there. How would you know there was a rune under the toilet? Ha ha! You know, because where would the girls spend a bunch of their time? Probably in the bathtub, on the toilet. Now there's 2 of them. Holy moly!
Oh my God, that's true. And they're 16. They're gonna have to build more bathrooms.
Right, that's what I was thinking. This double-story house has 1 bathroom. That doesn't make any sense.
They need. You know what they need to do? They need to build one of those 2-story outhouses.
Where it goes through the house. Oh, from someone who actually uses an outhouse, that would be disgusting.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason they usually built them onto the end of the house, so that they were at the end of the hallways. You know.
Right.
But there's actually
all over the house.
I think Roadside America actually put together like a list of all of the still existing 2-level outhouses, and they actually set it up as a tour that you could do, a driving tour.
Why?
There's a 2-level
Well,
outhouse.
I actually,
Yes.
That
I
sounds
live
like a
remote
shit tour.
Yeah.
I live remote Alaska. I live quite a ways out of actual town, and I know a guy who built a cabin, a 2-story cabin out of peckerpole trees, and he did put a 2nd-story outhouse in his cabin, and it was no.
2nd-story outhouse isn't right above the 1st-story outhouse, is it?
It's basically where he has his potty, and he has a peckerpole, like he has a chimney going from upstairs through his downstairs and running under his home. And he decorated around the pipe with more peckerpole spruce trees. It was foul. It was basically he's pooping in a pipe from upstairs through his house, letting it drain out underneath his house.
Right.
Wow.
It's all about the planning. That's really all.
Yeah. Just go outside. I mean, why are you spending this time? He was a little cuckoo. Yes, you can come in. I banished her to outside, and it's kind of cold today.
Well, let's take a look at some of these other builds. Why don't we?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take over, but
No. I mean, it was great to hear all about this.
Great.
It sounds like you've got a great story going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to hear the rest of it.
What's the point of building terrain if you don't use it?
Yeah, I want to hear the
exactly.
rest of it. It happens.
what I'm bummed about is I cannot imagine using this again. Is the biggest thing I'm bummed about, because I love reusable terrain, and I don't know if I could ever find a use for it again.
Okay.
Michael, do you ever get to reuse your terrain?
I rarely get to use it at all, to be honest. Like
there's only so many times you can assault minus Tirith, right?
Well, the cool thing is, though, that there is a new group starting, and it's a local group, but it's all going to be young people have been asked to be part of a youth group that's starting in our local area, and one of the things that they want to do is D&D campaigns. So I might get to actually use some of my terrain, which is going to be awesome. I built all of this stuff, and then like our group is like all digital and online, and like people don't want to get together. It's hard to get everyone together around the table and blah 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 blah. Everyone knows the story, but
We all have that same problem.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we found the communities on Discord, right? Okay, I'm gonna leave. Bye.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
You have a lovely day. Bye, and thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye with you.
That sounds like a lot more than a one shot to me.
I think
That's a lot to fit into one game.
Well, I think if you had 3 players, which is what she said she was planning on,
Yeah.
it would go a lot faster than 7. Yeah.
So let's see.
Very cool. I love that flat down, looking down above kind of terrain. Really cool.
Yeah, and what I was going to say about the reusability of that is you could reuse it for any house of the 1930s house or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
you just pull one of those floors out and use it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything else. Yeah.
Although I remember that the way that Chris had it, and I see that Chris also joined us in the chat. Hi, Chris.
Hey,
Uh,
Chris.
He had basically made them into tiles. So, for example, just slap the rooms next to each other, and you're done. Move.
Mhm.
So that's also very useful. Let's see. He's also saying this was a great idea for a challenge card. I hope you repeat it and make it a regular feature of your channel. Possibly not regular, but we might have it again in about 6 months or 12 months maybe, because this is fun.
Next time, vegetable terrain.
No.
Sounds like Carl is responding to a regular request there.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Let's jump to the next one, which is by Quest Berterin.
Yay.
Yay.
Love Kim stuff.
All right. By the way, have you guys watched the Christmas collaboration that Kim put out this month? I know.
No.
I know Lisa has.
Oh, are you talking about the sing or the collaboration that you guys did together?
Yeah, the Crafters Girl.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
No
Nice.
singing this time though. No singing.
She did a fabulous job doing that.
Okay.
Are you going to join us, Kim? On
Let me just drop
Zoom?
the link in there, just in case Kim wants to join.
I
It's
am
the tradition.
kind of what I am looking at here.
Hey Kim, I'm putting the Discord link, the Zoom link in here. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, there you are.
Oh, whoa, this is really detailed. Whoa. Kim has written a veritable essay to go with this. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yes.
Hi Kim.
Hold on a minute.
Hey, sweetie
Hold
girl.
on. Wait, I have to turn the YouTube. Oh, I think it is down. Hold on.
I'm not hearing any echo, so we should be okay.
I'm hearing echo.
Are you hearing an echo now?
Nope.
Oh,
Okay,
yes, I
good.
do.
Okay, it's just a
Now I
little
do.
bit. Yeah.
Yay. Hello.
Hey, sweetie girl.
Wait,
How are
I
you?
have to turn the YouTube. Oh, I think it is down. Hold on.
Okay, I think we're still listening to past Kim here.
I'm hearing echo.
Okay, present Kim, can you speak?
Okay. Now I do.
Yay. Hello. Wait, how are you? Turn the YouTube. Oh, I think it is down. Hold on.
Okay, I think we're still listening to past Kim.
Gotta
Nope.
mute it, hon.
I turned my audio off. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
But now I had to turn it off to avoid the echo. So you can hear me. I don't know if I can hear you though.
Okay.
Uh-oh. You can't hear me at all?
What if she,
Uh-oh.
what if she
It
said
might
Wait,
just
no?
say-
Like,
did you
Yeah.
turn
Oh, I
the
can't. Not twice. If you can hear me, not once if you can't.
Because every time I turn anything on is an echo.
Okay,
So
that's
All you
fine.
gotta
I
do
think I'm
is
just
mute
gonna have to.
YouTube.
Yeah, just
If she can't hear me,
mute
then
YouTube.
I-
Don't worry
Okay.
about Discord. Don't worry about Zoom, sorry.
All right, let's try this.
Oh, you're gonna chat.
Technical
That's right.
magics.
Mute. YouTube.
Okay, final chance.
Okay. Can you hear us?
I am talking and I can hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Yay.
We can hear you.
All right, I think we're good. Thank you.
Great.
Apologies. Not my first Zoom, but it always messes me up.
Okay, so Kim, what are we looking at here?
So that is, and it's not finished, but that is the lair of a hag. And the adventure, I did write an adventure for
Okay.
it, and
This one?
basically the storyline. Yeah, I know. I'm a try hard.
Okay.
Basically, this,
Sorry. Just so that people can find it later, I will be dropping a copy of this in the Discord so that people can find it. Okay.
okay, yep, that's fine. It just didn't. I just couldn't write it without putting in the monsters and all that kind of stuff, like the stats and all that.
That's fine. It's all good.
So basically, there's a plague called the Embertide blight,
which happens around the Embertide celebration, which happens to be the longest night of the year. So it's a holiday themed adventure. So usually there's like one person every couple of years comes down with it. They get a red rash that turns into green scabs, and they get this fever, and they go outside and they become petrified and die, and they look basically like a Christmas tree. But this year there's been about 4 people so far that have come down with it, which is amazing, an amazing number. So they're trying to get adventurers to go and find this plant that one of the elders says blooms on Embertide, but only in the garden of a hag, but no one knows where a hag is. But she gives them, she says when she was a little girl, there was a rumor that there was a hag in this one place, but she was driven out by heroes, and she gives them this piece of petrified wood that supposedly would help them find the location. Trials and tribulations, they find the location. Oh, salud, Michael. and there's vines that attack them. There's the one who has the stone or the petrified wood actually for some reason is protected from everything. But if anyone else touches it, they come down with the plague. But they don't know this, and the old woman said that's all she knew. She didn't know anything else about it. So lots of things attack them. When they get in, they find the scroll, of course, that tells them what they need to do. And there's, of course, different things that can happen. There's a D6 roll where one of the things that could happen is an imp appears that the DM or the rabble rouser can use to provide hints if they want. And it's very attached to whomever the elder gave the stone. But doesn't help unless the GM wants them to. There's a lot of, so everything that they need is in the lair, the nest, but they have to find everything by searching through the different areas. There's a cabinet, there's a table, there's the hearth, there's actually in the back, which again, it's not finished yet, but there was like a gourd which is the sleeping area. And in there's a lot of clues. And then the underneath area is actually a very swampy area where they find the final piece, which is another monster that they have to defeat, but they can't kill because this is actually the plant that they're looking for. And they have to bring it back alive in order to be able to find a cure for the plague. So they can't kill it, but it will try to kill them.
Is this a continuation of the Tansy story?
I'm sort of. I'm going to work it in because now that I have the terrain, I'll work it in somehow. But that's one of the reasons that it's been extended, because one of the villains in the Misa, the hero's Misa, but yeah, Tanti is my favorite too. One of the villains is a green hag. So basically I'm going to end up using this as her lair. And so something will happen in her lair that progresses the story.
That is so cool.
Okay.
That is so good.
Yeah, I like especially the bit where you can't just go in and beat everything up. You need to take that last one alive.
Yeah,
I think the idea that it can come after you, but you don't dare take it out.
Yeah.
That's really the huge challenge, because as we know, most players tend to cut to the chase.
Yeah, there is a way to defeat it. And again, if the rabble rouser or the GM wants to tell them, because the imp is there, they can give them that. But there is definitely a way that they can defeat it without destroying it.
I like the texturing you did on it. That's really nice.
Yeah, thank you. Of course the turducken part didn't it doesn't look as much like branches as I
And the
thought. That's the turducken, yeah.
You really can't see the size. I've seen you working on it on Discord, but
Yeah.
you really can't you can't determine the size from this, but it's what, maybe a foot wide.
Yeah, I'd say about a foot wide. The range is about
This
a
is
foot.
not small.
No. It's one of those, I wrapped twine with Mod Podge and glue over a large water, like a 2-liter water jar, a water bottle. Actually, a little bit bigger than that. Probably like a 2.5 or 3-liter almost.
Oh, okay.
Water bottle to make the shell.
And then just popped it out when it was dry.
Yeah, and then it'll be neater when I'm done, because I do have to do more shading and put some more branches on it so it looks more like a tree. But
So
it
that's
does
a
come
mate?
apart in several pieces.
That's
Is
a
that
really,
mate?
really nice texture over here.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So you can see the different levels, and I try to do a little bit of spacing, a little bit of the grids, but without doing a grid, so it's more like stains.
Mm-hmm.
Are those mazes?
No, it's just to create a grid.
Oh, gotcha.
But I don't have the bed. I have like a small Halloween pumpkin that I've hollowed out. That's going to be the gourd, which is the bed area, the cabinet, where all of the magic pieces are. There's some skins that come into animal skins that come into play. A lot of animated things.
Kind of like the Sorcerer's Apprentice from, with the animated brooms and stuff.
Yeah, well, more like though. Yeah, the things they are protecting the lair, even though the hag isn't there.
Okay.
But
I'm
yeah,
just
so
going to point out that because it's a turducken, this is edible terrain.
No, Lisa.
I am not following you down that road, Lisa. I can't give you that one, Lisa.
I mean, technically
I like
speaking, it is made of vegetable matter, among other things, but no.
Yes.
But no.
Yes.
It's a representation, and it's not. It is not a turducken.
No, it is not a turducken. We just nicknamed it the turducken.
The turducken, because of the angle you saw me working on it from.
Working on it. Yeah, top down. It looked like a chicken legs going like this before she painted it.
I love the suggestion of the grid rather than a grid.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
think
she was
that's really
trying
cool.
really hard to do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of, I was actually, Lisa knows, I was actually almost going to try to weave a mat of twine to try to make it, because it's supposed to be like vines and things like that. But I just ended up getting a placemat that had a woven texture and painting that.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
That works.
I was like, that's similar to what I wanted, but not what I wanted, but similar enough, at least for right now. And then
I think it looks great.
Thank you. Then the lower texture, I'm going to make more swampy. That was just to get something up for the challenge.
Right.
I know. Did you decide whether you're going to make this open up horizontally as well, the twine part, or not?
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, as you brought up, I'm not sure about the integrity of it if I cut it in half. Not really lengthwise. Yeah, I guess lengthwise from top to bottom. If I cut it in half so we can have the 2 levels, I'm not sure about the integrity of what you brought up. So, but the pieces do come out. The planks do come out.
Yeah, I think that's plenty to work with. You don't need to have it on top of the thing. On the other hand, I really like the way that this internal texture came out.
Yes.
I do too.
The texture on her limbs are especially cool.
Yeah.
And I'll probably paint in that as well, because it does look sort of strange having it all one color. So I'll probably put some washes in there to make it a little bit more varied.
No animation this time though, so
I know, I'm such a disappointment. I apologize.
I'm messing around.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't have a video yet because I I don't have a video out on this.
Yeah, I think we kept you occupied with other videos.
Now, I've got a couple in the shoot. I wanted to do one of some of the ornaments that I made before the video for the tree. So
All right.
I'll probably do that first. Quick one. That
Yeah.
is at the end of my adventure, I do have the stats for the vines that come down for the plant monster that they have to fight, for the skins and all that. And again, but people can do what they want, definitely.
Mhm.
And it is written 4 easy D6. As much as I can, because as I said before, 5e is my first language. I'm learning easy D6 as my second language, so I sort of translate it in, but it can go back and forth.
That's fine. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to move that to the Discord when after the stream so people can find it, okay?
Okay, yeah, that'll be fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Hope people enjoy it if they do read it.
I mean, I've only managed to skim it so far. I didn't have time before the stream, but I liked what I was reading.
Thank you. Well, I will let you go and get on toward the rest. So thank you very much for having me.
Thanks for joining
Thank you
us.
for sharing that.
And
This
you have a
is
lovely
great.
day.
Thank you very much. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Very cool.
Oh, I'm clicking the wrong thing. There you go. Right.
It does. That doesn't really portray how large that build really
Yeah,
is.
it is, yeah.
It's big.
I mean, how large actually is it? Like
About a foot wide and a foot, maybe a little more than a foot tall.
That's a kind
I
of
was thinking
squarish, I would say.
like this sort of size. Oh wow. Okay.
So
Like
let's
I was trying to keep up there. I was like sneezing and coughing the whole way through. I've been muting and unmuting myself the whole time.
Oh, honey.
Okay, there you are suffering for our entertainment.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. So we have just Sophie, right?
No, we do Sophie.
Sophie, I think mine is the last
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yours is the last one.
Yep.
You left yours the best for
Carl's
last.
batting cleanup.
Best. I mean, it's still not finished yet, but here we go.
And
Wow.
That's
There
a
it
lot,
is.
That's a lot of bricks, and it's not finished yet.
yeah, this is looking awesome, man.
That is nuts.
Okay, so apart from building it for this challenge, I'm also putting it in for Mordheim terrain challenge and Cleric's Creation is having a vertical terrain challenge in January, so I'm putting it for that one as well. Because why miss one deadline when you can miss 3?
I
It
love
only makes sense, dude.
I love the shots that are taken through the edges of the terrain, and
Yeah, I mean
Love
those work. It works really well for photography. I really like that.
Mhm.
Okay, now there
That's
are
a
a
lot
couple.
of
Yeah, that's a lot of bricks.
That's
It
a
is
lot
out of
bricks.
bricks. It is out of bricks.
That is a lot of bricks. Wow. Wow. Look at that. Oh my gosh.
Okay, now I did make a couple of design mistakes. In particular, for example, let me find that. I realized later that you wouldn't have a stone staircase like this on top of a wooden floor. That would make sense. But I was a few thousand bricks in at that point, and I was not changing anything.
You could probably explain it away somehow.
Magic. That's how I explain it. Magic.
Yeah, magic, just magic. It's a very Romanesque tower.
Kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
No Gothic arches.
no Gothic arches. I did take some reference from some local stonework, but one thing I could have done differently is that I could have made the I could probably have made the bricks about 2 or 3 times the size and gotten away with it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because for this kind of building, you don't really have you don't usually get bricks this small.
Mhm. Well, and certainly not down at the bottom to the part to the foundation. You're going to have larger ones there.
Yeah, definitely.
So seeing as this is for one shot, what's the story behind this? What have you got in your mind for this piece of terrain?
Okay, so I built it mostly for the scenario that I have in the Four Horsemen, the Beast of Hamlin. And the tower as such is not very important. It's just where the players can find a particular item they need to get rid of the bad guy in that scenario. Now, depending on how long you take on the rest of the scenario, the tower can be just, okay, you get into the tower, you walk up and you walk down and you're sorted. The thing is that in the entire tower, you don't know what you need to pick up. So they have to pick up the clues first before they get to the tower and find the thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So is this modular at all? I mean, can you take that? There's obviously a band above the first level. Does that detach?
It detaches in 3 different levels, which I'm planning to use in the Mordheim thingy, because we have to write rules for the piece. Now, what I was thinking about is that you start out with the whole tower on the table, right? Once you get to the top floor of the tower, you can start searching. And basically, there's a set of things that you can roll for. Like on a 6, you find something, on a 5, you find something else, kind of thing. But if you roll a 1, the tower starts sinking, so you remove the bottom level of the tower. Everything starts to fall over, and then you add the die 6 zombies to the bottom floor. If you search again and a 1 comes up again, then the next level of the tower goes on. Until all the tower is below ground and you can't search anymore. Okay, and what I was thinking of doing also is that it also happens if you use if you try to use magic within the tower and fail. So
the one shot is actually trying to climb those stairs that are on the wooden floor and seeing if you can make it.
That's right. That's a very second edition kind of thing, Carl. Where just climbing the stairs can kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I mean, it depends on how pressed you are for time. Because if you were literally a few minutes from wrapping up the hitting the time limit, you can just you're in, you're out, you got the thing, off you go. But if you have more time to burn, you want to jump across that thing, roll anything but a 1. Kind of thing. So yeah, you can stretch the amount of time you spend in there. But
I know that you have spent a lot of time on this, and it is a beautiful build. I'm waiting to see what it looks like when it's finished.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Yeah.
No, because
it's all foam, right? All of it.
Is it 7-sided?
Yes, 7-sided.
That's nice. That's nice. I like odd shapes.
The reason it's 7-sided is that I am bad at maths.
Oh, was it supposed to be 8-sided or something?
It was supposed to be 8-sided.
Mathing is hard.
I was hoping that it was actually based on something that the Knights of Malta built.
No, I did.
Unless, of course, they were trying to build an 8-sided fortress and building a 7-sided one too.
I like the fact that you make mistakes so accurately, though.
Yeah, I was really surprised about it. So, I can tell you, I would not have been able to make a 7-sided one if I had tried. That's the thing. But yeah, and it did turn out a bit larger than expected, to be honest.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yeah, so what is it, like 1.5 feet wide, roughly? Maybe.
It's about a foot tall right now. It will be a bit, maybe 1.5 feet later. No, 1 foot and a third, I think. Because I think you can see it up here behind me.
So the second level, it separates, right? So
yeah, 1 second. Let me get this thing.
This terrain bit them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right. So let me see where I can balance this. Up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
there it is.
Right.
Mhm.
Does it slot in? Does it have like a little groove that it slots in?
Not yet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to build that into the floor sections,
Cool.
so that will hold them in place.
Or
Next
maybe
time you should try building it out of actual stone and see how far you get.
Second.
And just, it's ultimate realism.
I know that I believe that Wouter had tried to do that once.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if he had done it from stone or sorry, or whether he had cast the stones in plaster, but he had mentioned that he hated it. It wasn't. It was really complicated to do because when you're doing foam bricks, foam wheels, so you can squish it into place. But if you take actual plaster or stone, then you have to cut it very precisely.
Now
absolutely.
you have to actually be a stonemason.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or also, you can't just lift it like that and put it on a shelf.
Yeah, I probably need to see a doctor after that.
Buy your own forklift.
Okay, yeah, I see that Clerics Creations joined us. So Clerics Creations is running a vertical terrain build challenge that's running till mid-January, if I remember correctly. So if you guys are interested in that, you can just hop over to his channel and look up the details.
Carl, how many bricks are in that thing right now?
I have no idea, and I do not care. I am not counting them. One thing when you're gluing bricks that I have found out is that do not keep a count.
Yeah,
it starts
right.
it starts to mess up your brain.
Right. It's too depressing for one.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean the end result is usually worth it.
Mhm.
Okay, let me just
Good John. I like
refresh it.
this one.
This was a good, broad experience,
Yeah,
Got a lot
I
of
lo-
different stuff.
Yeah, I liked how varied it was. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and I'm hoping we'll do another one at some point because I like the ideas behind some of the stuff people came up with.
Mhm.
Especially, I mean, the one that Tom came up with is very well defined, but it could go places. I like that.
Yeah, I started thinking about it afterwards. After I was like, oh no, that's just a one shot. And then I was like, no, there's actually, if they could do a sequel to Fistful of Dollars, why couldn't I do a sequel to this?
Right.
And I can do a deli meat mill build.
Yeah, great. You should do one where the adventure takes place in some roast beef sandwiches. That would be
Yeah,
better.
that sounds good.
I know.
Oh, okay. Gotta make roast beef sandwiches after this.
Okay, and I thought you'd gotten it out of your system. On the
Maybe
other hand, I mean,
a Christmas dinner themed one.
I
See-
did do a Thanksgiving dinner themed one.
There you go. You see,
The poultry guys.
Yeah, the poltergeist.
I think I'm getting on board with this food.
Yeah.
related
yeah,
topic.
I mean, let's put it this way. We do set something on fire in most of our games, so
Just
I
like
don't know.
cooking.
Yeah.
Charcuterie terrain. That's right, Kim.
Oh, this is going to be terrifying. But we are not doing that just yet, okay? We are people.
Okay.
If you're doing edible terrain, you are doing that on your own time. Okay, so I think we don't have anything else in the drive, so I think we're good to go.
Yep.
Yep.
And yeah, so this is the last stream for the year. So thanks everyone for joining us. We will be back in January with Dr. Tom. That guy.
Who?
That guy.
Thanks
And,
for having me on, Carl.
hey, it's always a pleasure, man. So yeah, in general, we'll be talking about historical what the fucks.
Cool.
Weird stuff.
Yeah.
Weird stuff. Yeah, the really weird
Weird,
stuff.
weird stuff, you know, strange things and things that you kind of go, why would they do that?
Twice.
Twice.
Twice. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
Happy holidays, everybody.
happy holidays, happy New Year, and thanks for joining us, and see you in 2024. Bye.
Goodbye, Michael.
Bye.
Bye.
Nice.
Drink more wine.
Bye.